everyone, welcome back to Beach Angel Tarot. I am doing a new spread that came to me, so I jotted it down, and I am going to put the information to purchase this reading below if you'd like your own personal private reading of this one. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to title it yet, honestly. The prompts for it just came to me, and I just kind of created a new spread. I am also working on a financial spread. Someone requested that from me, and I am still working on that. I will be putting that out here pretty soon, so you can watch for that. And if you have any requests for any type of reading, or if you have a spread or something you want to see me do that's yours, you can email it to me. I will put my email below, or you can put it in the comments below, and I will definitely get that out so you can get I want to be giving offers to people that are interested in different things, different topics, different spreads, whatever you want to see. I will be glad to do it. Just send that out to me, and I will get it out onto YouTube for you. So that being said, I will, if you request something and you don't want your name on it, I will definitely just post it and put it was a client's request, and I will just put it out there. And yeah, so anyway, that being said, I want to get started focusing on everyone as a collective, guided angels, Archangel Michael, to guide and protect our time and space. And what Archangel Michael wants us to know in regards to this connection, whoever you were thinking of when you clicked on this reading, the thumbnail, the title, whatever caught your eye to come to this for a collective reading. And that person that was on your mind, this is a message to you about that person. And number 23, interesting. I've been seeing number 23. That's really strange to me. In the last few days, I've been seeing number 23. Okay, so prayer really can move mountains. Reach out to the divine with your heart's concerns and watch miracles unfold. So praying is not about begging God, like an outside source, away from you. So that's giving your power away, right? So there's definitely a reminder in that this is putting your intention up. Prayer is like an intention, a focused intention with love for the highest good, right? And the highest good is your good, whatever is good for you. So, and of course, with harm to none. And I want to just put right there as a little reminder to everyone that in relationships with anything outside of ourselves, whether it be relationships, we all need finances, we all need good health, but ultimately we can be happy. Happiness is a choice, and we can be happy. We don't need, especially other people. We don't need another person to make us whole, to make us complete, to make us happy, to allow us to feel loved and secure. And since this is a relationship reading, I'm going to, connect it to that subject. So that's just a little reminder for everyone that you are whole, complete, and loved just as you are, and you don't need an outside person to validate that with you or to give that to you. It comes from with yourself. So just a little reminder, if you're seeking or yearning outward for some sort of validation, bring it back. Bring your power back to yourself. Take your power back, and give that to yourself first and foremost. So there's just a reminder there, and that was something I wanted to do, and this kind of reminded me. This card reminded me to give that reminder out. I don't do that often enough. And so yeah, okay, so pray from the heart. The power of prayer is incredible. It is an open exchange of communication between the divine, I'm saying this part, which is inside of you, and the part of the divine within you. Well, it is the divine within you. It can heal any challenge and bring forth amazing miracles. That is why you are being called upon now to pray from the heart. When your prayers are focused by your emotions and the intensity of your heart, they have more power than the ones that just come from the mind. And again, the mind is part of the ego, and the ego just, can sometimes, take you in the wrong direction. So you want a heartfelt, focused intention. So it's like when they come, it says when your prayers are focused by your emotions and the intensity of your heart, they have more power than the ones that come from the mind. The latter, the mind part, is when you say the words out of routine without deeply feeling their meaning. That isn't to say that prayers are ranked by priority level. A sincere plea in desperate times is valued just as much as prayers of gratitude and affirmation. Even a simple request for a parking space can provide instant results when your heart is engaged in the asking. If you are facing a challenge at this time, or you just want to manifest something magical for yourself, Know that prayer is a part of the answer. Make time for your prayer list every day, but don't let it become an empty routine. Be sure to put your heart in each time. So, there was a part in there about desperation, and I feel too that, what it said is true to some degree, but I kind of have a different take on that. I feel like when you come at a desire from a desperate feeling, you're coming from a feeling of lack, and we don't want to be in that. You want to bring your power back to yourself, give yourself the love that you are seeking, and then watch it unfold from within yourself. Spirit can't give you something in the 3D that you aren't already giving yourself. So give yourself that love, give yourself that validation, and then be okay with that feeling and sensation, because that brings you immediate relief. You're no longer in a lack and desperation feeling, and you can kind of leave the outside energy alone and just watch whatever comes to you for your highest good from the outside in. So that's just a little reminder and the message that comes from that. Also, 23 is a number that's coming up. Two is the High Priestess, 3 is the Empress, and 5 is the Hierophant. So there's a lot of, and 5 is all about change. I was just tapping into the tarot for some reason there. We're going to see what spirit of darkness and light is around this connection right now for this reading. Oh, jeez. Wow. That one wanted to come out, and it is the spirit of the Pentacle, faith, unity, and wholeness. And again, first and foremost, bringing that wholeness to self. Unity is connecting to the one consciousness, right? And the realization that we are all one. So that is that unity. And you bring your energy back to a better place when you connect in that way. So there's that reminder there. So, but it also is can be talking about having faith in the unity of this connection. But again, first and foremost, bringing your own energy back to that state. I'm going to use Ascended Masters. Message from the Ascended Masters on this connection. This is sort of like, for me, an Ace of Pentacles too. So a new seed, a new foundation, new energy coming in. And we have Twin Flame, which, that's all fine. This is like a spiritual, it had the Hierophant, I had the High Priestess, so there was a lot of that higher realm, internal world type of energy in these numbers. Bringing the 5, the Hierophant, which would be the higher realm, the 5D energy. Twin Flame is a widely used term, right? We've all heard that, I'm sure, in this community. But it's talking about a spiritual connection, and again, your own spiritual path, your own spirituality. So do keep that in mind. But this is talking about a very high level. I'm going to say high level because all relationships are important. I don't like to even go there. But it's talking about a spiritual path. This is taking you to your own ascension. It's your own vehicle, if you will, your own avenue to your awakening, your ascension path. Okay. That other person will mirror things to you that allows you to, arise and to get into that energy. So, and it's interesting with the unity and wholeness, because that's the path, right? It's to bring you back into that unity and wholeness and reconnect you to faith. To your own faith. So okay, so let's do the spread. I'm seeing here, I'm going to use this. Let's use one of these two. Let's just do this for opening messages. So this is the Earth and Sky Oracle, Mystic Moon Oracles. I got guided to some different decks today. So let's just see. What Earth and Sky message wants to come out here before we get started. Spirits with this. So this one is sound. Soothing effect, music and melody, disruption and chaos, auditory impression. Undercurrent kind of caught my eye. It is the sight, perception, creative visualization, doorway to the soul, meditation, and downloads. Sight and sound are coming up. And I wanted to see the top one since I did the bottom. Lion, Leo, brave and admirable, generous and affectionate, commanding and self-centered. So the lion could be a spirit animal that's around. Also the swan with that energy. But sight and sound, the lightning is interesting. So doorway to the soul. It could be, you know, utilizing sound as a doorway to the soul. So music and melody, you know, meditation could be important. Clear audience and clairvoyance is really heightened at this time. So in regards to this connection, when you are connecting to that person's energy, or they're connecting to yours, or, you know, becoming closer energetically, you may be having a really heightened sight and sound, auditory, and just really like more aware of colors. They may be more vibrant. You may pick up, you know, on subtle sounds, or certain sounds may appear or, you know, repeat themselves in patterns or something like that. There is a bit of erraticness here. So there may be a suddenness with this too. So sudden auditory, sudden sights, that kind of thing. But it feels like it's very heightened, very sensitive. Using sounds to soothe, right, any sort of disruptive or chaotic energy is also going to be beneficial for you in this connection. For yourself, let's just go with yourself, right, because that's everything's unfolding from within you. That's the reminder. We want to keep going back to self. So if you are feeling anxious, or you're feeling disturbed or triggered or what have you, sparked, or however you want to say it, utilize sound. If maybe there's some music or something that kind of soothes you in that disruptive, chaotic state when things become erratic, or when the energy seems high or tense. And it's giving me that sense of, like, you know, like when a storm is coming and you can pick it up, you know it's coming before it hits. You just have something within your body. Some people get, you know, achy, or some people just, you know, they can maybe get a migraine even, or they just sense it in some way that the storm is coming. There is something here like a precursor. I'm getting some sort of precursor, sort of like an animal, like an instinct of an animal. You know, like they say animals know when a storm is coming. It's like you're being, or you're going to be, or you're starting to become very sensitive to that person's energy. Not saying that their energy is like a storm, but it, you know, something like this creates a lot of change in your life and in your spiritual path and in your understanding and your awakening, right, to who you are. So there's going to be that sense here. There's some sort of sensitive sensory within sight and sound that's coming. This could be an important time frame, and this could represent fire signs right now. Watching, you know, could be particularly, but it doesn't have to be. I don't like singling out different signs, but this could be an important time too. The Leo time frame, there could literally be some sort of storm, like a literal weather storm, linking to some sort of time, like a sign, if you will, from spirit. Seeing this storm in that time frame is going to alert you to something happening, perhaps with this connection or this person that you're connecting to this reading. Just saying, that could be an outside message. Doesn't necessarily mean it is. Looking for timing and watching for signs. You know, we can get caught up in a loop with that too, so we don't want to go down that rabbit hole. But it's something that kind of came to me because it did pick out a time frame, but it doesn't necessarily mean it has to be. Also weird, the number 23 is on this card too. So 23 is on here. Okay, so let's dive into the spread itself, and I will try to put the 6 prompts below so you can kind of follow along, because that makes it nicer when you're watching a reading. You can just kind of go and look to see what, if you miss the prompt, you don't have to back up. You can just go below and look. So the first one is, how are you being? How are you being in this connection? How are you showing up in this connection? So this is going to tell how you, and so this will be a way to know that, this reading is resonating for you. How are you showing up in this? Like, how are you being? I want to see what I want to see here. Not sure what deck. They're really saying any deck. It doesn't matter today, I guess. All right, so let's just see. Maybe we'll do 2 angels. How are you being in this relationship? How are you showing up in this connection? Spirit, how is the viewer showing up in this connection at this time? And there it is. And there. You are profoundly clairvoyant, and there's that sight, the cat eyes. Oh, and then we have the cat. So I want to liken it back to the cat first and foremost. So you may be being very independent. And they're taking me back into the 2 out of the 23 of the High Priestess. I'm just being taken there in my mind's eye. So I'm seeing the 2, I'm seeing the High Priestess, I'm seeing pulled back, like these eyes in the dark, cat eyes. So cats are very independent. They're very aloof at times, so you could be pulled back, observing, aloof in regards to this relationship. It doesn't mean you're not connected. It doesn't mean you don't care. It doesn't mean, but you have maybe pulled your energy back, like we were talking about in the beginning. So if so, very good for you. And it's telling me that for those that are resonating with this, that you've kind of pulled your energy back to self. You're in the background. I don't want to say in the darkness, if you will, but you've kind of dimmed the light off of you in the physical 3D world, and you've kind of gone inward to kind of maybe connect in the spiritual realm with this person in the 5D, or back to yourself. Maybe you've just put all eyes on you and your 3D world and your own spiritual path at this time. It says, trust what you see in your mind's eye as well as with your physical sight, for your spiritual vision helps you with healing, teaching, and guidance. So that is one. I'm going to pull another one here, but it's really repeating this sight thing here, the clairvoyant. And so you may at this time be coming, because yes, we were looking at a relationship and how you're showing up in the relationship, who you're being in the relationship. But the relationship is also, especially with this twin flame, is affecting your spirituality, your spiritual path, your soul self, and connecting to your higher self and who you truly are. So you're seeing yourself differently. I want to say, they're saying to me, in this relationship, you are seeing yourself differently than you have before. So you're not even in, how you're showing up is differently because you're seeing yourself differently. So you may not be seeing yourself in the way that you were seeing yourself when you first connected to this person. At this time, and you're seeing yourself in a different view. You may be looking from a distance. You may have done an eagle pullback, and you're viewing the whole situation and yourself even from a higher perspective. You're in the higher realm of looking down into the situation, and but you are seeing yourself. You may be even seeing this person differently, but you're definitely seeing yourself differently, they're saying. No, this is the one. Okay, so let's see. How are you showing up in this connection? We're going to do 2 of these and then 1 of these for each placement. So how are you showing up in this connection? And I wanted to keep it going a little faster because I can get really wordy and these go on and people don't have time to sit and watch a 40-minute reading sometimes. So how are you showing up in this connection? So you're pulling back, you're observing, you're seeing yourself differently. And, 2 fell out. So let's just quickly look at them. Safe travel, Christopher, and child, guardian, angel, child. Oh, gosh. Interesting. He's got a child on his shoulder. Safe travel. Safe to child. Safe child. So I feel like moving within a more carefree, playful kind of energy within it, even though I feel like ultimately you've kind of pulled away maybe not physically engaging in the 3D with this person. You may literally be traveling with a child too. You may, be working on your own thing in your world, traveling with a child, traveling in general, planning a trip, or making a fun trip, planning a fun trip, something like that as well. But ultimately, this is talking about moving within the inner child, in the realms of the inner child, and feeling safe to express. So really kind of, you may be doing some sort of inner child work in regards to this connection, but I feel like ultimately you've kind of pulled back. You may be, like I said, literally traveling or planning a trip, working within the inner child realm for yourself, perhaps looking to ways to make your life more fun outside of looking at, like they're saying, less serious. There's less of a seriousness about the connection or the situation is what I'm getting, and feeling safe, because the travel talks about, moving from one place to another. So I'm feeling it energetically. You're kind of moved out of a serious, like adulting kind of energy within the connection, and you've moved into a less serious space energetically. So that's how you're showing up. You're not taking it very seriously, and not that it isn't important, and it's not, and you don't care, but you're not, it's not your main focus, right? You're seeing yourself differently. The energy is lighter. I think one of my last Yummy readings, there was something about that, having fun and doing other things or whatever. And I feel like, maybe you have watched that reading, taken that energy or guidance seriously, and kind of shifted out of, being totally focused in on the other person or the connection, and just kind of, lightened up the energy, not taking the connection so seriously. And then we're going to do this one. How are you showing up in this connection? And there we go, freedom. And that's the travel, the safe travel with the child, right? And it's because that talks about lighter energy, freed up energy. Children don't have a lot of responsibility. There's no heavy responsibility in regards to how you're showing up in this relationship. You are, and it's not in a bad way. Like, I don't want it to appear like, oh, you're skirting your responsibilities in regards to this connection. You're just not taking it as seriously. You're not putting all your focus on it. You're observing it, and you are enjoying your freedom. There's healthy space and room to breathe. So you've given healthy space and room to breathe, and there's nothing wrong with that. This freedom doesn't feel negative. It doesn't feel like you're doing anything to harm the other person or harming the connection. I feel like, especially in these relationships in general, that there are times of separation, and they don't necessarily mean anything in the 3D, right? I feel like it comes a point when you realize what's going on, and it's your own spiritual growth. It's your own path to ascension, and that outside form of another person doesn't really, not that, again, that they're not important, but it doesn't, have the same effect on you as it maybe once had when that separation occurred. So there is freedom, there is movement, there is lighter energy, there is you seeing yourself differently. You may be seeing yourself as someone that is more independent. You yourself may not want any responsibility in a connection or a relationship, or want that heaviness or burden of one. So you may be like really reassessing at this point what you really want out of a connection and how you're going to move forward in navigating the connection. So there's a lot of reflection. The Hermit might as well have came out because it kind of went around about in that way. Okay, so what's coming from their subconscious into their conscious, meaning what are they beginning to become aware of in regards to you? So it's something that has been laying dormant in their subconscious that they've sensed. They've been being guided by that, but they don't really consciously are aware of it. So, or there's something about you that, that there's some undertone there, but it's coming out of the subconscious, and they're becoming more aware of that they weren't aware of about you before. So let's just see what that may be. What is coming from their subconscious into the conscious? Meaning, what are they becoming more aware of in regards to you? No, I'm not taking, I was questioning both of those, so I'm going to just, what's coming, and they could be questioning both of you right now. So I just was like, I don't know which one of you two to take. So it was like, maybe they're thinking, which one of it, which one of us is this? I don't know. Okay, so what's coming from their subconscious into conscious So there may be some confusion about something between you there, and it's throat chakra. The angels are helping you lovingly speak your truth. So there's something about the way you communicate that's starting to dawn on them, or something about how they communicate. Again, the sight and the sound, not that the sight, I feel the sound is part of the throat chakra, not necessarily the sight, but the upper chakras here, as you can see, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. You know, we can get in the lower chakras and become focused on sensual pleasures and lust, and, you know, stability is not a bad thing, but being unstable too, and the opposite can be problematic. So, but anyway, we are coming from the higher chakras, and so there's something from the subconscious that's coming to their awareness about communication. And again, not surprising, because we communicate, of course, through sound, auditory, energy. And I also feel like they're realizing maybe that they sense you, they can sense, or, you know, they're consciously maybe becoming more aware of how sensitive they are to you and your energy. And when you connect, or when you're talking or texting or whatever, even texting, they may be like, why do I feel this way when this person texts me? Or why do I, you know, feel this sensation when we're communicating? Doesn't necessarily even mean it's because it's talking about sight. So it can just even be being in the chat room, or the words, or whatever. There's something about they're becoming more conscious of way of expression and communication, and what's felt between you, or what's felt by them when they connect to you. Okay, so it's gone back to the five senses. It's coming through in the physical, and in their consciousness, and they can be becoming aware of their own, you know, because we mirror, right? So they're becoming aware of their own communication issues, or miscommunication, or a need to communicate, or wanting to communicate. There's something about that energy in the subconscious coming into the conscious, that something about communication, or maybe a conversation or something. Or maybe you said something, because you know, sometimes when somebody says something to you, and then it's like weeks later, the conversation comes back into your mind, and you go, wait a minute, and you start to read between the lines, and something kind of dawns on you. I get that air quote, they're saying dawns on you. And you're like, oh my God. And then it's like, boom, lightning. Oh, I see it now. So I'm getting that, you know. I feel like that could be happening for some of them, that they remember something that was said a long time ago, or they may go back in a chat room or something and look at your thing, and then they go, because they remember the conversation, and they try to find it, and then they start reading between the lines, and they're like, oh, I get it now. Boom, Shanani, I see it now. You know what I mean? So that I feel is something, because it comes, you know, it was subtle. It came from the subconscious. It's like all of a sudden you remember somebody said something. It's like remembering a dream the next day in the middle of the afternoon when you couldn't remember it in the morning. And then it's like, oh my gosh, it's this like realization. I get it. Boom, I see it. So there's something about a conversation, they're saying, that is coming out of the subconscious, that was lying dormant. They had the conversation, but they didn't pick up those subtleties within the conversation. They didn't quite get it, you know, they didn't get it, but now they got it. So what's coming from their subconscious into their conscious? So let's see what else. This one definitely wants to fall, and it is optimism. So they may be becoming more optimistic. There's something about optimism, and optic is interesting. I'm seeing it as optic. So optic is sight. This is getting very, you know, very sensitive to the words. I'm gonna just Google this just a second, because there's something subtle here. And so this may be about a conversation that they were very pessimistic about, and then all of a sudden they were like, wait a minute, I missed something. I missed a cue. I missed the true meaning of that. You know, often, especially in text, the tone of a text, or the words spoken, when you're in a mood, can come across altogether different than what was implied when someone said a text, because you can't hear the voice inflection, right? You can't hear the tone of the voice. It was a joke, or they didn't even mean it in that way, but you read it and you were in a funny mood and you just took it. So there may have been miscommunication that they were pessimistic about, because they were in a different mind frame, and they were like, wait a minute, I'm going to go back and, you know, I'm thinking about this for some reason. What did I miss here? And so that brings in more optimistic energy. But opti is about the Optic. And opti comes from Greek, where it is the meaning of light and sight. Okay, so we have the light of the lightning and the sight. Even though it says sound, it's like the lightning sight. So it's just that, like a wavelength that comes in, that brings in more light into the fact about something in regards to communication. And let me just see. My Google is extremely slow. Okay, so let's pull from here and see. But that is, they're seeing something different, like I said, which is making them more optimistic versus pessimistic. And I'm just going to go back here. What's coming from their subconscious into their conscious mind about them. But, you know, it's like it's dawning on them, right? It's like they're having a realization of like, wait a minute. This is... Okay, these two, when it comes to, I'm taking them. And it says honest communication, seriously. Expect a heart conversation. So there's something about honesty in communication. And then it says natural evolution. Let the situation unfold naturally. So, oh, there was a feeling that just came there. I don't know what the heck it was. A natural unfoldment. The natural unfoldment feels tied to the optimism that, you know, if you haven't been talking, if there hasn't been communication, so to speak, you know, contacting each other, they're having a realization. They're more optimistic because they had a realization of something maybe they were pessimistic about, or they missed, you know, they misunderstood, or they didn't read between the lines, or they mistook it as something else. And so that's making them more optimistic now that they've kind of gotten it. It's kind of dawned on them, wait a minute. So they're thinking they want to communicate, I feel, or there needs to be more of an honest communication, but they're going to let that unfold. There's an ease to this feeling with that natural unfoldment. So the word progression. So there's a realization of some sort of progression towards more open, honest communication. So they may be there's maybe a realization within them that there needs to be a progression. Okay, so they're saying progression is important. There needs to be a progression into more open, honest I'm saying open, honest communication. And they're maybe feeling that when that occurs, so they're having a realization that there needs to be more open, honest communication. Or that they may need to do that. Or you guys, you know, it's never just the other person. It's not like pointing the finger to them and say, they need to do this. It needs to be done together. Like, hey, you tell me what you're thinking, I tell you what I'm thinking. But it's kind of dawning on them now that there needs to be this in regards to this connection. If they want to continue, there needs to be some sort of, let's open this line of communication up, and they're feeling more optimistic about it. More optimistic about being honest with their communication and what they want. What do they ultimately want from this connection? This shows their true intention at this time. And that was another air quote. So at this time, because this is change, you know, this can change. But at this time, I'm going to use this one first for whatever reason. What do they ultimately want from this connection? Have you asked your angels for help with this. Your angels want to help you with the situation. However, they require your permission before they can intervene with your free will choices. So what do they want? The word permission seemed to stand out there. They maybe want permission to help you. Maybe you've closed, because it looks like you pulled off or you pulled back. So it could be that they want permission to become more involved or to re-engage. Maybe they're looking for a sign. Healthful eating. So for me, this is Archangel Raphael. So it doesn't necessarily mean eating. It's talking about healthier energy in regards to, you know, being okay with something. Perhaps you being okay with something. Like, what are you okay with? What am I okay with? So it's like really, and I feel like this goes back to the communication. What are we both okay with? What are our boundaries? Because healthful eating, you don't overeat, right? You don't overindulge. So I feel like this is talking about boundaries here. They want to get help with, and to realize what, you know, with permission, how far can this go? What like, there's a sense of compromise. Like, what are you okay with? What am I okay with? This is talking to me about boundaries and permissions. Permissions means you can only go this far. You only have permission to do X, Y, Z. You know, this, that, and the other. What, you know, and with me and with me with you and you with me. So there is something here about they want to get this out in a more healthy way, going back to that expression. So that's one of the things that they want, their intention is at this time. Is focused on those boundaries and what we can helpfully do in regards to permissions with each other. Reaching out. So they could, you know, want to do this. They may want you to do it. Expect a call or text from your person of interest. So they may want you to do that and talk about this. Again, it's talking about communication and connection, right? And really working through what's good for us, what's not good for us, what we can do, what we can't do. You know, boundaries with me, boundaries with you. You know, like, this is my boundary. What are your boundaries? Let's figure this out. There's a sense of wanting to communicate through something now and figure something out is what I'm getting. And to be able to do that, you need to connect. So they'd want to connect. Either you connect with them or them connect with you. And again, we're not always putting it on the other person, but I'm not telling you to reach out to this person either. So totally take that as your call. So, okay, that was ultimately what they want from this connection. This is their true intention at this time, to figure out healthy boundaries and permissions and to connect. Your own blind spot, what you aren't seeing or conscious of yourself in regards to this connection. It's either about yourself, about the connection, or the other person. We'll definitely see where it falls. What is your own blind spot here? What you're not seeing or seeing correctly. Solar plexus chakra. It is safe for you to be powerful and take charge of your life in powerful, positive ways. And this may be something that you're already starting to do, because it felt like you were seeing yourself differently in the beginning. So that you're more powerful in this situation. You're not powerless. You're not someone's victim. They haven't done anything to you. You know, you've equally exchanged. You've engaged your energy with them. You know, no one has done anything to you here. And so that's where your blind spot is. If you're blaming the other person, you're not taking personal responsibility because you willingly engaged. Unless somebody's come to your house, broken and attacked you verbally or physically, you know, you have partaken in the connection, and, you know, you're not a victim. Don't be a victim. So if you feel like you're blaming the other person, why are they doing this? What did I do? Blah, blah, you know. Your blind spot is you're not powerless. You're not their victim. And you can take ownership, responsibility, and see yourself differently, either through feeling like a victim or knowing you have more power, you have more say over what goes on in the connection than you think. So there's something there about your willpower and your own inner power. Again, either through directing the course of the connection or not being their victim, or they're, you know, blaming them or what have you. What you aren't seeing or conscious of for yourself. So one of them is your personal powers in either regard that I just mentioned, and vision. Again, the vision, the sight's coming up. So you're maybe not totally completely seeing yourself, although I feel like you are in a good start for it with the vision in the beginning. Undercurrent here is speak your truth. So again, it's connecting to the sight and the sound of the beginning, you know. It's talking about that for you as well, that you are equally affected by this sight and sound. You are an equal partner in this maybe miscommunication that's going on between you. There may be a need that you haven't spoken on, or you haven't completely expressed where you see things going, or your vision for the connection, and your place in it with the other person. You know, maybe this is all going on in your mind, but you haven't spoken it, right? So there's a blind spot there in your ability to see your place in that miscommunication, if you will, when we put these in combination. Also, your blind spot may also be in not sensing, maybe you're not sensing, like, I don't want to say patterns or things that come up, like when you connect with this person, undercurrent subtleties and things like that can be blind spots too. But you know, those are kind of sometimes hard to detect. But I feel like this is talking about your power and where you maybe have fallen short in seeing yourself in regards to, you know, expressing your views and your truth with this person, as they have with you, right? So it feels like you've been dancing around something surface level and haven't dived deep, or both have maybe not wanted to express something deeper than the surface level, something or other. So blind spot, what else is your blind spot in regards to this connection? What you aren't seeing about yourself or something with them or the connection? What is your blind spots? Manifesting the one. The one is in quotes. Very soon your true love will arrive. So there's something you're not seeing. The air quotes, you know, like not the air quotes, but the quotes around the one. That maybe your blind spot is thinking or feeling like one particular person is the only one for you, which is not true. There's, you know, billions of people on the earth. You know, there's something around that about, and then, you know, you have the solar plexus, which is magician energy. The solar plexus to me goes back to the magician in the tarot for me. I liken that chakra to the magician. So this talks about manifesting. So you may have a blind spot in, you know, your own power to, you know, manifest the one for you. You know, whomever you manifest and fall in love with is the one for you. So you may be feeling like, you may be feeling like you're a victim to having to tolerate someone's bad behavior because you feel like they are the one. So that could be one of the misconceptions or blind spots. And the other one is a blind spot where you may not feel like you have the power to manifest, or that you need to manifest. The desire for that person or that love itself means that it's meant for you and you're experiencing it already on some your consciousness in some plane or level of existence is already experiencing that love. And so, and I don't want to say that person, but that version of that love, and how you want to experience it, your consciousness is already experiencing it, or you wouldn't be able to have that desire. So there is a lot of strength coming in regards to that for your blind spot. You're not realizing that power that you have, okay, in its totality. So your best course of action or energy to hold over the next 30 days. Sacral chakra. And this is just one lower than the solar chakra. So you are highly sensitive to chemicals, additives, processed foods, and energies right now. Respect your sensitivities, which we had that at the top, by avoiding harsh items, situations, and relationships. So right now, you may be better off if you've pulled your energy away to keep it that way right now for the next 30 days. You know, again, that would mean don't pursue this person. Don't reach out, you know. Don't engage. Or if they try to engage and it's harsh, or it's, you know, the energy feels erratic or not right to you, you know, just politely say, you know what, this is probably not a good time for us to talk, or whatever. You know, this is talking about being very sensitive to energies and honoring that within yourself, whatever that means for you over the next 30 days. It's going to be the best stance. And that's always, 30 days or 30 years, that's always the best energy. If something feels harsh to you, you don't have to be rude to other people, but you can just dismiss yourself. It's not like, and I'm not talking about ghosting someone or, being mean to someone. I'm just talking about saying, right now I'm busy, and, you don't have to be rude or anything like that. Learning experience. So, this can be learning things outside of the connection, learning new things in your life, keeping your energy pulled back to you, learning about things that make you happy, learning about, taking courses, learning about other things, learning. But I feel in combination, this is learning what? Learning about, I feel like for one, obviously learning about the sacral chakra. So you may want to research the sacral chakra and all the energies that it, is connected to in your physical body and your energy field. But learning about what bothers you, whether it be foods, chemicals, and learning about how to respect your sensitivities for yourself. Learning to respect harshness that you can't tolerate, or you don't need to tolerate in any way. Learning what is good for you, what isn't good for you right now. Because if you don't know that for yourself, how do you convey that or express that to someone else? You can't. That would lead into being people pleasing and over giving and that kind of things, because you're not pulling back and honoring the things that irritate you, for heaven's sakes. So it's learning more about that for yourself. Again, in regards to relationships, this person, foods, chemicals, in regards. So you may want to take some time and learn about food additives or, chemicals in cleaning solutions. This may be something, but also in regards to this person in relationships, what bothers you. Okay, those are a lot of different things there, and learn about the sacral chakra. The sacral chakra is the creation. That's where we create, and that's where creations come into the 3D, right? That is the womb chakra. So this could also liken back to the female reproductive system. I mean, you can go way into this, into different aspects and avenues. So there's different things coming up there for you to, what energy you should be in over the next. And it's life partners. She's wearing yellow. That's interesting. Your romance is stable and ready to go the distance. So learning about longevity in relationship too. What you need, what your needs are to go the distance. So it's really learning about what you need, and we kind of started that here with the opening, when you, like what we saw, where you may have pulled your energy back and you're not focused in a really serious, heavy way. But this is indicating really looking at taking some time and to really looking at what you want long term. What you want out of a life partner. Do you even want a full, rest of your life partner? Do you want that big of a responsibility or that long of a connection? That kind of thing. So it's really learning about yourself in regards to longevity in a relationship. But the best course of action is to be in that energy and really focused on self in that way. And if your partner reaches out and connect, learning about that with each other too. So it's not to say it's not with the other person and what their needs are and how you're going to work that out. It can definitely be that if that person or you do connect in this next 30-day period. What will your person's energy and actions be in regards to you in the next 30 days? So it's either going to be energy or actions or both. We're going to see what is their energy or actions in the next 30 days. And I'm doing this mid-April, so till mid-May. What is their energy or actions towards you? And it is fairies. Oh, that's cute. It's fun. It's playful. You have a strong bond with the fairies, and your life purpose involves helping Mother Nature. And that mothering energy, it's nurturing, it's grounding, it's fun, it's playful. So it can be that you see something in that way with this person, or it can just be energies felt. There's an energy that they're getting into over the next 30 days. They may be having more fun themselves, because we had that child energy at the beginning for yourself. So if you're mirroring, of course, that inner child energy. Also fairies, fairies require a belief, right? It requires a belief in fairies. And so there's that childlike wonder and belief and energies too, in the mystical. So there, I feel like there's an optimism here that they're going to be in, and a belief that anything can happen. Whether you see them actually take an action or not doesn't necessarily say it, but there's an optimism growing here for sure within their energy for the next 30 days. Of anything's possible. So if you're in a really difficult situation with someone, just know that they're beginning to become more optimistic that something can ground when we have the fairies, and they're believing that maybe, hey, anything's possible in the future, you know, that kind of thing. Instead of being closed off and like, no, this will never happen. There's this feeling of, you know, who knows? And it says you found it. So, you know, there could be some sort of realization here in regards to you. That they found something in you that they really value. There could be something like that, because if you lose something and, you know, you think about losing something, you know, and it bothers you, that kind of energy is coming up. So they may literally find something and tell you they found something that they lost before. But this is talking to me about a realization of something that they may feel that they found in you or in themselves in regards to this connection. Maybe they found a piece of themselves, or they realized something about themselves. There's a lot of this purple energy coming in the higher chakras in this as well. So what is your person's energy and actions in regards to the next 30 days? And this reading went longer than I thought it would. And it is holiday. Enjoy a change of scenery to spice up your love life. So this could be, you know, with you. This could be, you know, them taking a change of scenery to find something, you know, within themselves in regards to this relationship and moving forward with more optimism and to ground it. They may actually do that. I don't know what holidays there are actually in the next 30 days. I'm going to pull one more. They're saying to pull one more. I don't know let's see, what is it? April. I don't think there's a holiday, an actual holiday. If there is, somebody listed below. Hey, Mother's Day. Oh, we had Mother's Day popped in my mind. There could be something about Mother's Day here too for somebody. So maybe I don't know. There's something about Mother's. The holiday is Mother's Day, is all I know. And it's burning desire. Flames of passion ignites. Undercurrent, there's a rendezvous. A private getaway for two is calling you. So maybe something around Mother's Day. I don't know, for some. And you know, of course, this isn't going to be for everyone. But I feel an optimistic energy with them for the next 30 days, growing regardless, whether you hear from this person or not, or you connect with them or not. For some, I feel like you will. You may actually go on a holiday. For others, something may happen right around Mother's Day, because we had Mother Nature on this card, and this is saying holiday, and the only one I know of in early May is Mother's Day. If you know of any other holidays between now and like May 17th, 18th, 20th, let me know. Memorial Day is until the end of May, so I'm really keeping this at 30 days, and I'll be back again to do another one in 30 days. So yeah, it would be that way we keep the energy within a time frame. So definitely would be around Mother's Day. So yeah, for some. So, you know, I feel like there's going to be different levels, different people getting different, you know, different things there with this. So let's do some rainbow rain, just for signs and messages from Spirit for this connection over the next 30 days in this energy. And it is sex and fertility, the rabbits. Undercurrent there is the lion. So rabbits and lions, black and white, there is a balance coming up with, oh, that's the sacral chakra too, the fertility is the sacral chakra. And we had the prayer, I think, with the very first Archangel Michael. And we had that freedom. This was the energy that you were in the beginning. Kind of like freeing yourself from heaviness of the connection in the 3D perhaps, and just like, oh, wait. You know, that kind of thing. And then we have road trip, which we had that holiday. So for some, you may literally be taking a trip, and you know, with this person, or seeing them on a trip, or seeing them out on the road, or seeing them in a car or something, and then rising up. So the energy is there is ascension energy. So you are moving in the right direction in regards to your spiritual ascension. Just know that for the next 30 days. Anyway, if you like your own personal private reading, click the link below. Angel blessings to everyone. Oceans of Love. Oh, I will put my information down there, my email address, and if you want to request any type of other spread, let me know. I will be glad to do it. And I am going to be working on that financial one that someone requested and putting it out. So if you are watching this, just know that that is a priority to me, and I will be working on that. So angel blessings to everyone. Oceans of love.